Hello learners, how are you? I hope you all are very fine and passing a very good time. This is Tariq Ahmed, Senior Lecturer, Department of English, Milestone College, welcoming all to my online class. Learners, today my topic is cloze tests. I mean with clues and without clues. It is very important part of your English first paper syllabus, and total marks from this part is 15, 5 marks from with clues and 10 marks from without clues. Learners, as I have told you earlier that this item is a very important part of your English first paper syllabus, and if you want to do well in this part, I have a suggestion for you. But before that, I must tell you that cloze test, I mean with clues and without clues, it may be seen, at the same time it may be unseen. You have English for today, and some questions directly come from your EFT, I mean English for today, that we call seen lines or seen passages. And to do good from seen passages, you have a requirement. What is the requirement? You should go through the text. You should read English for today first to last. Then you will be able to answer the cloze test that comes from EFT. At the same time, if you can solve test papers, in test papers there are so many questions. If you can solve the questions of all boards, at the same time if you can solve all the questions from test papers, then you will be able to gather a profound knowledge from this grammatical, from this item, and then you will be able to cut a good figure from this part. My dear students, before practicing cloze tests, I mean with clues and without clues, let us know some important rules related to this item. But as it is a very vast item, I should try to focus on some very important rules related to this item. Let us see. Some important rules. Number 1, if the gap word is a subject or object, we know that subject or object of a sentence must be of noun. We know it. If the gap word is subject or object, it must be noun. Remember, if the gap is here, development, and is a verb, so we know that the subject must be noun. So development is the noun of the verb develop. Development is not possible without proper educations. I think you have understood this. So once again I repeat, the subject and object of a sentence must be noun. Must be noun. Remember this. Now come to rules number 2. If the gap word is verb, it must follow the rules of right form of verbs. We know there are certain rules of right form of verbs, and if the gap word is a verb, then we should be careful about the rules of right form of verbs. Look at the example, learners. Folk music. This is the subject and the verb is consists. Because folk music is third person singular, so I have used s with the word consist. Folk music consists of songs and music of a community. Now come to rule number 3. If you see it is time, it is high time in a sentence, then you should remember one thing, that the verb must be of past form. I mean verb must be V2. Look at the example. It is time, it is high time we, and now this is the verb. Look at the verb, it is of past form. So if you see it is time or it is high time in a sentence, then you should remember that the verb must be of past form. It is high time we removed gender discrimination from the society. This is very important rule, dear learners. You should remember that. And what about the rule number 4? If you see lest in a sentence, then there is a rule of using should or might before the verb V1. Read the example. Read attentively. Look at the example. Read attentively. Lest. So lest is here. So you should fail. Fail is V1, and before that should or might must be used. Read attentively lest you should fail in the exam. So once again I repeat, if there is it is high time or it is high time in a sentence, the verb must be past form. At the same time, if there is lest in a sentence, then you should use should or might before the verb V1. Dear learners, now I will show you the most important rules of conditions. Conditions of if. You know that there are 3 conditions: first condition, second conditions, and third conditions. What is the first condition? If you see if in a sentence, and if the first part of the sentence is of present tense, the later part must be of future tense. If you come, look at the tense pattern, it is of present tense, come. And what would be the second part? It must be of future tense, I will go. And what about the second conditions? If you see past tense with if, that is of second conditions. And what would be the later part of the sentence? Before verb you should use would, could, or might. That is the conditions. Look at the example. If he helped me, I would win the game. And what about the third conditions? If you see past perfect tense with if, past perfect tense, if he had invited me. So the sentence is clearly of past perfect tense. And then would have, could have, might have with V3 is used. So you should have clear idea about the conditions. Look at the example once again. If he had invited me, I would have joined the party. So these are the 3 conditions of if, and you should have a very clear idea about the condition. Learners, there is another very important rules. Another very important rule for you, the rule of as if or as though. This is very important. And if you see present tense before as if or as though, then the later part must be past tense. But past tense can be formed in 2 ways. If you use main verb, then V2 of the verb will be used, and if you use auxiliary, then you can use only were, not was. You should remember this. The man behaves as if he knew everything. Knew is the main verb, so it is a past tense. And if you use auxiliary, then you must write he were mad. So in case of as if or as though, if you use auxiliary, then where must be used, where. So this is very important thing you should remember. Another example, there is as though in a sentence, but what is the first part of the sentence? The first part of the sentence is of past tense. So what would be the later part? The later part must be of past perfect tense. And I have made past perfect, he had known it. The man spoke as if he had known it. So this is the past perfect tense. And if you use auxiliary, the answer must be he had been mad. Remember, had been, had is the auxiliary verb, and been is the V3 form of the verb were. So the man spoke as though he had known it, or he had been mad. You should be very careful about this rule. Dear students, now I am with most important rules of determiners. Do you have any idea about determiners? Have you read modifiers? In modifiers, you have come to know what is determiners. Determiners are those words that determines the number, the quality, the positions of the noun. Articles are determiners. Learners, A and the articles are determiners. And demonstrative pronoun, that means these, that, these are also determiners. And possessive, possessive case, all are determiners, and after determiners noun is used. So this is very important rules. Look at the example. The combination, article these here. So after article noun is used. The combination is the noun form of the verb combine. The combination of tune, voice and dance may be described as music. I think it's clear. Look at the example number 2. These demonstrative. I told you these, that, these, those. These are called demonstrative pronoun. These songs. So after demonstrative noun is used. These songs are nouns. These songs are also about social inequality. Now look at the third example. A craftwork is distinguished by its makers. Yeah, makers is possessive. And what is used after possessive? Noun. Desire is noun. So I have used desire. A craftwork is distinguished by its maker's desire to locate himself. Learners, rule number 8. Before or after noun, all time adjective is used. Remember, before or after noun, adjective is used. Look at the example. There are 2 examples. Examples number 1. Folk songs are composed on riverine. Riverine is an adjective. So after adjective, life is used. Life is noun. So I told you that before or after noun, adjective is used. What about the example number 2? Poor girls. Girls are noun. So before noun, poor adjective is used. Poor girls are normally victim of early marriage. Now rule number 9. Causative verb. After causative verb, V3, verb past participle is used. What is causative verb? In grammar, some verbs are used as causative. In a causative, a person does not perform an action directly. Look at the example. Many girls get married. Get is a causative verb. So after causative verb, V3. Marry, the verb, and its V3 is married is used. Many girls get married before physical and mental maturity. So these rules are very important. Learners, rule number 10. After preposition, verb. Learners, after preposition, verb plus ing is used. Remember, verb plus ing just after prepositions. Look at the example. Students should aim at. At is a preposition. So just after preposition, if we use verb, that must be with ing. Students should aim at getting chance in a public university. So getting is used. That is the verb plus V1 plus ing. Rule number 11. After and before as conjunctions. There are some conjunctions, after, before, while, since, and they use as conjunctions, and they have some certain rules. I am telling you about the rules of after and before as conjunctions. If you see after as conjunctions in a sentence, then after, the later part of the sentence must be of past perfect tense, and the first part must be of past indefinite tense. The patient died after the doctor had come. So the later part of the sentence is of past perfect tense. And if you see before in a sentence, the first part of the sentence must be past perfect tense. The patient had died before the doctor came, and the later part must be of past tense. I mean past indefinite tense. First part would be past perfect tense if there is before as conjunction in a sentence. Learners, I hope you have understood the important rules that I have already discussed. Now let us practice our cloze tests of with clues. What do you think? I hope you will get a lot of pleasure while practicing this item. Dear students, let us practice a question of with clue. Read the following text and fill in the blanks with suitable word from the box. When a girl gets, dear learners, I told you that gets here is a causative verb. So can you answer what would be the what would be the answer of A? Here we see a verb marry. So if we can change marry verb as V3, it would be the right answer. When a girl gets married. So we have got the answer of A. When a girl gets married. Have you understood? She usually drops out of school and begins full-time work in her in-laws household. Is this clear? Now, in the in-laws house, she is. Here is a verb. So the sentence is of passive form. So what would be the answer? Can anybody tell me? She is marginalized. That means she is in a boundary. She doesn't have any sort of freedom. She is marginalized. She is marginalized. She becomes, what would be the answer of C? She becomes is a verb. So we need a adjective. She becomes, yes, vulnerable. This is the answer. She becomes vulnerable to all forms of abuse, including dowry related adjective phrase. So we need another noun, dowry related violence. Yes, we have got it. This is the answer of question number D. In Bangladesh, it is still common. Yes, this is the answer. It is still common for a bride's family to pay dowry dash, the dash being dash. What would be the answer of A? Despite. Yes, despite the, what would be the answer of G? Despite the practice. Despite the practice. Despite the practice being illegal. Despite the practice being illegal. What would be the answer? Dowry of I, dowry demands. Dowry demands can also continue after the, I told you that if there is an article, then the next word would be, after article there would be noun. After the wedding, yes, wedding is a noun here. After the wedding. Viewers, I hope you have enjoyed the question of with clues. Now let us practice without clues. What do you think? Let's do it. Dear learners, let us practice a question of without clues. Beauty is easy to appreciate but difficult to define. If we look around, we will discover beauty in pleasurable objects and sights in nature. Yes, we have got the answer of A, pleasurable. You can also write delightful or joyful objects and sights in nature. That would be also right answer. In the dash of children, in the laughter of children, or you can also say in the joy of children. That would be also right answer, as it is without clue. In kindness of strangers. But asked to define, we run into difficulties. Does beauty have an independent identity? Is it universal? The right answer of D would be universal or relative. Is it dependent on our sense perception? The right answer of E would be perception. Does it lie in the eye of the beholder? Thus, there will arise a number of questions. The right answer of G would be questions in our mind. How about poets, artists, philosophers, and thinkers are always, the right answer of H would be are always in search of beauty in their works and arts. But most of them have the common and undisputed opinion that where there is beauty, there is truth. The right answer of I would be truth. That is, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. That is, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Learners, these are the answers of these questions. The purple color shows the right answers, but you won't answer in this way. I have shown it for your understanding of the right answers, but you will write the answers in your exam copy in this way. That would be better. Dear learners, I hope you have enjoyed my today's online class. You have practice book, and from that book you will practice with close test, I mean with clues and without clues. And the more you practice, the more you will learn this item and you will be able to cut a good figure in the exam. Thank you very much for staying with me. Stay home, stay safe.